few quick honourable mentions. So the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, Nier Replicant version 1.224744871139, Smash Fighter DLCs. So like any new characters in Smash. Deck 13's next game, whatever that is, it hasn't been announced, but if it drops this year, and Dragon Age, because I have a sneaking suspicion it might not come out this year. So they're my honourable mentions. But my number 5 is Outriders, which is probably unexpected. So the reason why I'm this is a tentative, I'm tentatively excited for this mainly because when I look at Outriders, it reminds me a lot of Remnant from the Ashes, which Mike and I played, and I really love Remnant from the Ashes.
Yeah, love that game.
There's also part of Outriders that looks a bit more like the Division and Destiny style. And not saying those games are so different, it's just more like I hope it goes more on the side of the way Remnant plays. But it does kind of give me that impression. So I'm definitely anticipating it. It's coming out on the 2nd of Feb. So we'll quickly know. It's been made by People Can Fly, who made I think Bulletstorm and that, and published by Square. So it's coming out a whole bunch of stuff, including Xbox One and PlayStation and everything. So Outriders is my number 5 most anticipated.
Okay. If you pick that up, let me know.
Nice. All right, Mike, what's yours?
Number 1. So I've actually just done them in random order, not in preference. So the first one I have is Gran Turismo 7. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of the series, having played it since the originals. I haven't heard anything about Forza having a release, which is kind of weird, given the new consoles. I suspect something will probably come
they've
around
shown
the coming year.
The new Forza.
Yeah, but in terms of release, I don't know if they said it was going to be in 2021, did they?
Yeah, but have they shown more of that off than Gran Turismo or not? I don't know.
About the same, I think. Okay. I don't know. But I know for a fact that Gran Turismo is supposed to be coming out this year. So that's definitely what I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, while I'm talking, you will see some amazing footage of the ray tracing in this game. Some pretty cars. Over to you, Integot.
Yeah, so my game is Breath of the Wild 2. So I am almost... What are you laughing about?
I'm just laughing because I heard Swinny, like he made some noise.
Yeah, because he's...
I didn't make any noise.
You did. I felt like you...
No, I put myself on mute.
Ah. Okay, it just sounded like...
You're the one that made the noise.
Swinny is a hater of Breath of the Wild 2. Like, do you admit that, Swinny?
No, I'm a hater of Breath of the Wild. I don't know anything about Breath of the Wild 2.
Nice. Fair call. Fair call. So I'm like super excited about this game. It's the kind of game that I'll just definitely drop everything and play it. I think this game's coming out this year. Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite games of all time. Actually, seeing my wife's brother play it made me go, oh my God, I want to play this game again. So I'll probably jump back into that game. So yeah, like really looking forward to it. I actually also got Age of Calamity for Christmas, which is the Musou Warriors style themed Breath of the Wild game. I am going to hold off on playing it, just given that it's a bit choppy, because I feel like a Switch Pro is going to come out this year. So I might be holding on to that game for a year or two until that comes out, because I'm sure it'll run better. But yeah, super looking forward to that game. Sure, it's going to come out this year. I'll be really bummed out if it doesn't come out. All right, Swinny, what's your second game or fourth game? I think the way you're running it.
Well, okay. So my number 4 is Monster Hunter Rise on the Switch.
Nice.
So this game's coming out on 26th of March, obviously made by Capcom. And said it before, I reckon Monster Hunter Rise is going to be huge. It looks great. It looks like it's the perfect way to continue on from World while keeping the legacy of, I guess, handheld platforms in a way, if you consider Switch handheld. So yeah, looking forward to Monster Hunter Rise.
Nice. Mike?
So I'm looking forward to seeing the continuation of Aloy's journey in Horizon 2 Forbidden West.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, so quite enjoyed
Sorry,
that.
Is it actually Horizon 2, you reckon? Or do you reckon it's going to be like an infamous Second Son situation? Where it's
it's already called Horizon.
It is actually called
Forbidden
Horizon
West.
2? No.
No, it's called Horizon Forbidden West.
So there's no 2 in it?
No.
Okay, then I
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not even just the name. Do you reckon it's an actual fully fledged
Proper
sequel,
fully fledged
or
one?
do you think
A
it's
good
more
question.
like?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I know exactly what you mean. Is it more like a smaller?
No, I don't think
I
it's
don't know.
smaller. I don't think it's smaller.
Okay.
But
I thought it was a full. Yeah.
I mean, your question is it going to be a sequel to Dawn, right?
I mean, it is
Yeah.
a sequel. Yeah,
But I mean, is it a fully fledged proper
that's
big
what I'm saying. Is
sequel,
it
or is
an
it almost like a giant
is it
DLC?
is it an Infamous
This is
2?
really funny for some reason.
Is it an Infamous 2 or is it an Infamous Second Son? You know, that's kind of what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
No, it continues the story. It continues
Yeah,
the story.
yeah.
That's been confirmed. Okay, good.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what was the infamous blood? What was the blood one with vampires and stuff? Because
Normally,
it was kind of like that. It wasn't a DLC. It was a standalone thing, but it wasn't a full game. But it was still a full game.
Normally, Mike and I throw things off, but this time Swinny has for you.
Yeah, thanks, Swinny. Anyway, that's the game I am keen to try out.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Whatever it is.
I actually didn't get to my honorable mentions. There's so many. Should I just quickly run through them?
Yeah, go.
Because that was going to be
bother.
on. Yeah, maybe I'll go quickly. Eastward is one of my honorable mentions. Gotham Knights, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, Sports Story, and the Evil Dead / Back for Blood. I think that last one is more dependent on you guys. If you want to play that game, I'm definitely up to play that game.
Okay.
But like either one,
I'll play it.
Yeah.
So what's your actual actual second one?
Yeah, I'm up to my second. I'm just trying to keep track of everything. My second is Halo Infinite. So this game is going to come out on PC and Xbox. I actually hope that they just restrict it. After learning from Cyberpunk, they just restrict it to Series X and S. I don't think that's going to happen. I hope they do that. I think that would be a really smart move from them. And I actually think everyone would be okay with that. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this game. I'm really glad that they've delayed it for a year as I predicted. And I think when it comes out, it's going to be not the smash hit it needs to be, but I think it'll be a very competent Halo game, just given everything they're doing and making sure they're taking care of the franchise. And I hope, Swinny, that you're keen to play it, given that it's on Game Pass. And it should be cross-platform, right? So if we play on PC and Xbox, it will work fine.
Potentially.
Hope so.
I'll play it. I'll hate it.
All right,
I'll play
Swinny,
it.
your third?
Well, this one's easy because my third is Halo Infinite.
Oh, nice.
No.
So
Okay,
just
anything else you want to add?
Different video as well. Good.
they've got a pug making sound effects. So that's all I need to know.
More
I'll-
of the bloody annoying.
One
sound
thing I'll
effects
say
in
is
that game.
I'm most looking forward to getting back into Halo multiplayer.
Yeah, dude, I didn't say that, but that, and I've always said that they should release the multiplayer early for the game, and it's going to be free as well, so that's just a win-win, and it's probably finished. But the multiplayer, back in the day, it was so sick. Like Halo 3, that was so cool. So you didn't answer my question. Can we play like PC and Xbox?
Well, we don't know. You'd assume so, but we don't know. So
But were you playing when we were playing Master Chief Collection? Were you playing it on PC or Xbox?
I was on PC, and I definitely prefer playing Halo games with controllers. So, but anyway, yeah, that Halo
that definitely
was
does
my
have the
third most
controller, yeah.
anticipated.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, your third, Mike.
So my third is a game that were both on your lists of honorary mentions, and that is Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Oh, nice.
So I normally, you know me, I tend to, and I've said this a few times, I am nostalgic about a bunch of things, but I'm not necessarily into the whole, let's just get this because of the nostalgia. But I do feel there's a small itch of me wanting to kind of go through Mass Effect again, maybe just as a badass renegade, replay the whole thing in high def, make some different choices and stuff, which I think you can kind of make with that game. But I do worry that I think it's going to be one of those things where I'll start it off and then I'll get to a certain point and I'll go, okay, I'm a little bored because I've done this multiple times already.
Right.
Why am I doing it again?
Mike, would you be happy or otherwise if they update Mass Effect 1 to play more like Mass Effect 2?
That's a really interesting point. I actually don't think I'd necessarily be disappointed because I can go back and play the original Mass Effect the way it was originally designed anytime I want. So I would actually kind of maybe enjoy having a fresher experience with Mass Effect 1. So I can do the story again, yet feel like the game feels different at the same time. So I actually think I'd enjoy that.
Because
the option is always there.
Okay,
like anyone who bitches about that. Well, no, but the option is always there for you to go back and play it the way it was originally designed. No one's stopping you from doing that. And there's, if you've got any sort of PC nowadays, you'd be able to
I know,
do that,
I know I'm an outlier on that one, so I recognise that.
You have a very controversial opinion. You're trying to introduce your controversial, what is that forum
Contrarian.
called? True Achievements. Comments onto our podcast. Destroy our podcast.
Tell you what, though, I actually liked... obviously, 2 and 3 were quite refined. But I actually liked number 1, the fact that it had more build abilities and more... it felt like it had more varied things you can kind of do as opposed to number 2 in terms of weapons and stuff. Because it was more of a very sort of...
It was more of an RPG. That's
typical RPG. Yeah. Way more of a typical RPG.
I've got to wait until Legendary Edition comes out because I'm fearful that it's just not a good port. Or not a port, like a remake or remaster, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I'll wait till that comes out because it is on my Dirty Dozen. Mass Effect. So
you might as well
does make sense to get it. Yeah, exactly. I'll wait for that. If it's not great, I'll just boot up my 360 version of Mass Effect. Which
there's isn't there the trilogy on PlayStation as well as a?
Yeah, it's going to release on PlayStation and Xbox and PC.
No, there was already a trilogy I thought that came out for PlayStation 4 or something, wasn't there?
I don't think so, but maybe.
It was a pack. They had
I think there was a trilogy.
Okay. But that doesn't really make much sense, given that it wouldn't be much better than the 360 version compared to this. I think we're up to my third one. So my third is, and this is a weird one, is Ratchet and Clank. So if I look at the brief of going, what's my most anticipated games, I'm really interested, to see how this game goes, because for me, this game feels like the first next-gen game. It should be coming out in the next 3 months or so, I believe. And yeah, I'm just really interested to see how this game lands because it looks really, really cool the way they're using the tech of the SSD. It looks very much like, okay, let's make a pure PS5 game, fully take advantage of the PS5. Very good series already. And yeah, it looks insane to me. It looks, along with probably Demon's Souls, to be like a next-gen looking graphics game as well. So I won't get the game anytime soon, but I'm actually looking forward to it coming out and just seeing the reception. All right, Swinny, we're up to your third, I guess.
No, my
fourth, right?
So
second. It's a countdown. Right?
Exactly, it's a countdown. And I called shotgun on a countdown thing, but obviously no one's doing it. So
no, mine kind of is half a countdown, half not.
So my number 2 most anticipated game, and I think it will release this year, is Steel Rising.
Wow, so I'm looking at the video and I'm like, I don't know what this game is.
So I've mentioned it before on the podcast.
Robots who get erections.
Yes. Mike did make a joke about it when I talked about it last time. I'm glad you remembered.
Yeah, I thought we clarified this.
Unless he just forgot about it and he made the same joke twice.
That's funny.
Which is very possible. So Steel Rising is made by the same people who made Greedfall. So by Spiders. Now, they haven't announced this year, but I have a feeling it will be. So it's coming out on all next gen and PC. And yeah, so developer Spiders, so Greedfall, Technomancer, Bound by Flame, Mars Warlogs, all games that are definitely Eurojank, definitely an acquired taste. And I love them. So I'm really, really looking forward to this game.
Nice. Mike, what's your second most anticipated game? That could be also your fourth.
My list is in no order in particular. But
unordered list. It's like HTML.
The game in the next slot in my unordered list is Resident Evil VIIage.
Resident Evil 8.
8-age, you mean?
8? What is it up to? Yeah,
8-age.
What number is it up to?
It's
you know
8.
what? I actually don't mind that they don't have the proper numerical sequencing and stuff in some of these in the titles. Do they? Is it actually called 8 VIIage, or is it just?
But they reference it in the design. But anyway, so Resident Evil 8.
Because of the V and the I and the I and the I? Is that why?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I didn't notice that. That's sick. I bloody noticed that. I've obviously not seen enough of the trailers.
Well, Resident Evil...
To be fair, though, I'm also trying to to not get spoilers and stuff.
Resident Evil 7, which is actually called Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, also has in the evil the VII.
Yeah, I remember that
and
part,
they've just
but I
continued
didn't realize
it
they
on.
had that in this. Damn, that's so cool. That's
But
so clever.
a little bit different,
I'm
though.
such an idiot.
They haven't officially called it Resident Evil 8 Village. It is
No, they haven't.
actually
That's what I
Resident
mean.
Evil Village at this stage.
Cool.
At this stage,
So I am actually probably not going to read or see too much about it because I kind of just want to.
And there's.
I want to see the scenes by myself.
The whole story's been spoiled already.
Well, I don't know that, but I don't want to know that.
No, I'm just saying you got to be careful about this game because
okay.
In the Capcom hack, which I don't think we really covered fully because again, we don't like to cover some of these things, but they've actually leaked the whole story of that entire game, everything about it. So yeah, you should be very careful about that.
Okay,
game.
I'll be super careful then, because there were some scenes in number 7 that were just awesome. Really loved it. I haven't actually played it on VR yet. I gotta.
Number 7 scared me too much, man. I started playing it and it freaking
VR
scared the
or
shit
just
out
normal?
of me. Just normal,
VR
man.
Just normal.
Normal
Yeah, there's some really good bits. But imagine,
scared the shit out of me,
for that.
man.
But imagine that in VR. Oh my god.
I don't think I could play it. I'm too scared.
It's nuts. It's the perfect game for VR, I reckon, if you want to get a heart attack. So yeah, that's my number 2/4/whatever.
Yep. And then it's mine, yeah. I'm just trying to do everything here. So mine is, and this is not in order, Monster Hunter Rise. So I haven't played through any Monster Hunter game, and I think this is the perfect game for me to play through. It's on the Switch. This year, sorry. Very likely that I'll be going back in the office again. I mean, I'm looking forward to going back in the office, frankly. Probably not anytime soon, given that I'm in Sydney. So I think that will be paused for a few months at least. But this game is coming out on March 26th from memory. And I think that would be about the right time when, I'll be heading back into the office and everything. And this is, to me, the absolute perfect game. I've got a long commute and just firing this game up on the Switch, collecting some stuff, getting some stuff done in the game. And then also, if you're playing it as well, Swinny, with all the co-op stuff, I think it would be a perfect game to play. So I'm really looking forward to this game.
Cool.
And is this your number one?
This is my
Swinny?
number one most anticipated.
My last one is equal number one with Breath of the Wild. But yeah, let's go to yours.
So this game, which I do think, hopefully, it will come out this year, is Elden Ring. So I couldn't put this at anything but number one. This is easily my most anticipated game. For anybody that doesn't know, it's the next From Software game, and we haven't heard anything really about it since, honestly, the reveal trailer, which is over 2 years old, I think, at this point.
I think there's 2 statements. That's all that's been made about this game. 2 statements on Twitter.
Which is why I didn't even put it on my list, because otherwise it would have been my number one as well, Swinny.
There is,
but I wasn't sure if it was actually coming out.
Well, that's why I said it could be games that we don't have a release date. So I'm hopeful. It's very possible, of course, it might not, but
it was announced E3 2019, June 2019.
So the one,
it's not that long ago.
It's a year and a half. So
they started development of this game in early 2017.
And the one thing is that I obviously hope they nail the it's meant to be an open world game, or more of an open world game, which is different than the other Souls games and that. So I really hope they nail it. That's it.
Mike, what is your unordered?
Well, that would have been it if I was confident that it was coming this year. But since I don't, the one that I do believe is coming this year is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
Oh,
nice.
So I don't really know much about these games. So yeah,
different. So I played a little bit of the original, but not enough. And I've always sort of thought the series looked really, really cool. So I think this would be a perfect opportunity to actually get into.
That game was delayed from last year, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I think is always a good thing, rather than what other games have done.
Yeah, but I think didn't
a certain game I kept talking
didn't the project lead quit? I think it was something. There was something there. There was a story that we covered in the show. So hopefully that game's in a good place, because I'm looking forward to that as well.
It looked like the trailer that I think is probably playing right now, if you're on YouTube and you're watching this, is gameplay footage, and it's an interesting one because I've been playing Cyberpunk, and to me at least, that's set the bar right there in terms of character design and
bugs,
graphics, and bugs, of course. Yeah. So I'm like, it kind of felt a bit cyberpunky in that sense, and I was a bit worried that I'm going to be disappointed at the lower graphics potentially, because it'll be hard to sort of do what Cyberpunk did. But at the same time, I think once you get into it, it doesn't really. It's more about the gameplay and the RPG elements and the story and stuff, which look pretty cool in that game.
But I must admit, I'd take a game that's solid, that didn't look as good as Cyberpunk, rather than a game that looks like Cyberpunk and runs like Cyberpunk. So
yeah, absolutely. But again, not to talk about Cyberpunk again and again. I've been playing it more, not as much, unfortunately, because of time constraints and stuff, but I've continued playing it, and I'm digging the hell out of it. And I also spend quite a bit of time I sent you guys some of the photos I've been taking in photo mode. I'll stop in the middle of a conversation and go, oh, that's a really cool photo opportunity. Pause, and then just take photos, and that's dragged on my hours way more than they should be.
Nice. All right,
so what's your...
My equal number one...
Yeah.
Equal number one. So these ones are ordered. So Breath of the Wild is equal to this.
Yep.
Is Wonder Boy Asher in Monster World?
Yeah, right.
No. I was going to say Cyberpunk. I was going to build up this whole thing about early access game. It's going to come out next year.
I was almost going to put Cyberpunk because, like, next gen Cyberpunk.
It's kind of valid though to say.
I have
it's kind
that.
Of valid.
Yeah, I have that on my list. My number one on my actual list on my screen is a bug-free Cyberpunk 2077,
which will come out this year now. It will come out. No. So my equal number one, and I do think this game is going to come out, is Elden Ring.
Oh,
so I
interesting.
So far as like, I actually think I'll pick up a PS5 if it's only available on PS5.
Wow.
If it comes out now, if it comes out on PC at the same time, which
by the way, it's not only available on PS5. You're talking about available on next gen consoles.
Oh yeah, it's actually available on PS4.
No, because it was shown off at a Microsoft thing. I'm talking like it's not a PS5 exclusive unless they change that.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, look, if it's on PC, I'll get it on PC. But having played the very little amount of Dark Souls and Demon Souls, I do like those. Well, I don't love those games. I haven't played them enough, but I know I will love them. I'd love to get on a game that's coming out like this, like from Software. When it comes out, so I'm really actually keen.
No walkthroughs, no guides, no wikis.
Exactly.
Because that's I think Swinny, you're the same as me. The very first time I play those games, I go into them completely blind, intentionally. I don't want wikis. I don't care about any of that crap. I just want to actually enjoy the game as it is. And then if you hunt for achievements and stuff, you can read the wikis. But it changes the game quite a lot when you start wicking things.
Yeah, and that whole discovery thing. I think this kind of game has a huge element of people discovering new strats, and you're like, oh, okay, that's a really good way to do it.
It's not just that; it's discovery of the lore, discovery of and these games have very obtuse secrets that you would probably never find if someone else hadn't found it, and it's that sense of community discovery that is great,
which is awesome. Yeah,
and I know that he gets shat on a lot now, which I think really unfairly, like crazily unfairly, but it is also really cool that the lore and I guess at least the overarching story is going to be structured by George R.R. Martin, who, again, people got to separate like the TV show from the books with Game of Thrones. But, he's an amazing crafter of a story and just to drag you in as well. So this game's just literally got everything going for it. I took the whole we think it's going to be released thing pretty seriously. So there's games that aren't on my list that it may have been if they were coming out this year, but I don't think they are. And then I do actually think Elden Ring will come out this year. If you look at From Software's history, and I went all the way back to when they started developing games to when they released them. This game, if it goes to the end of the year, it'll be like 5 years. The normal cycle is about 2.5 to 3 years.
Yeah, and
so it's already way beyond that.
Normally when they reveal, like it doesn't take that long for the game to come out.
Yeah,
so
and they have two teams running at their games internally, which is another thing. So they leapfrog their games. So this team, it's been working on this game for 4 years. So 17, 18, 19, 20, 4 years already. Because they said that they started working on it in early 2017. So I think it'd be pretty shocking if this game didn't come out this year. And also, it's coming out on PS4, unless they change that. Having a PS4 game come out next year, it's just probably not so wise.
I have a feeling this will just be a next gen. This will turn out to be next gen.
I think again, like I'm not against that. I don't have a next gen console, but I'm not against that. I think
I'm
it's
not
fine.
against it at all.
Yeah.
We need more next gen only games, honestly.
Yeah, and I probably likely this is going to be like a big September, October game. But if it comes out earlier, that'd be cool. Really looking forward to it. Did we want to loop back just quickly on games that we thought weren't going to come out this year, but would potentially be on the list?
The next Mass Effect.
Okay, yeah, but that's way away.
But I'm just saying, like, of course, that's a game anticipating, but it's not likely to come out. Obviously, anything relating to Final Fantasy 16.
Which I think, like, I was toying with that because I think that might come out this year.
I don't think it will, simply because just looking at what they've done in the last few games, I don't think that'll be a next year. I think it'll be the following year myself.
Well, two of the games that would have definitely been on my list if there was more clues that they were going to come out this year is a new Mario 3D platformer. So if you look at, again, the development cycle of Mario 3D games, they've been on a pretty constant churn of 3 to 4 years. And they're going to smash past that if they don't release a game this year. So I always thought there was going to be like an Odyssey 2, like pretty much what they did with Galaxy. And I'm still shocked that they didn't make a DLC. Like, I was very adamant that if they don't do a DLC for Odyssey, it's because they're just taking all that DLC stuff and making a full game out of it, which is what they did with Galaxy 2. But yeah, it's weird. Like, they're a weird company, Nintendo. It's pretty much impossible to predict.
And another game that I don't think will come out this year is Metroid Prime 4.
That was my next one, yeah.
So
that would have been maybe number one, to be honest, over Breath of the Wild 2. Just to see how that's shaping up. But yeah, that feels like maybe it's not even going to come out next year. That game.
Mike, other than Elden Ring, are there any games that you're super looking forward to that you don't think will come out this year?
Nothing that I can think of. I was actually struggling to think. Yeah, sorry, maybe Starfield. Yeah, that would definitely be something that I would love to play. But I was struggling to really. There wasn't a big game that I knew was coming out, like Cyberpunk, when that was announced. I'm like, I can't wait for that. It's going to be huge.
Well, Elden Ring, right?
Elden Ring's it kind of thing as well. Yeah, and I would have put that as number one as well if I was confident enough that it was. But I thought we had to know it was definitely coming this year, because otherwise, absolutely.
Obsidian's Avowed is another one that I don't think will be this year, but that's another one. So there's so many games you could just keep talking about.
That's true.
It does. I do get what you're saying, Mike, because Cyberpunk is a bit different because From Software, they do release a lot of games. Like Sekiro was the game of the year. Well, not last year now, but 1 year and a bit ago. So I feel like the hype of their games is a little bit less than maybe it should be, just given that they produce a lot. So
I think they hype it less as well, though, in a way. I don't know.
And
maybe
like Breath of the Wild,
there's a lot of hype for.
I'm super hyped about that game, but I think just because it's a sequel and Breath of the Wild still has that lasting memory for everyone, I think the hype around that is a little bit less. Like, there's probably I can't even think of a game that, there's no game that has the Cyberpunk 2077 hype behind it.
No, right? But I also think there's less marketing around some of these games. So Cyberpunk also had ongoing marketing in the Twitter account, and there was stuff that constantly drove the hype.
Yeah.
Whereas I think with Elden Ring, the From is generally pretty quiet, I think. So
yeah, once Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 start to get closer to release, then the hype machine will go crazy for those two games.
It's very possible as well that we'll get announcements of other From games like Armored Core and stuff this year. So
that's true. Yeah. That's true. All right, that was pretty cool. We'll post all the sort of what the games are, in like the show notes and maybe the YouTube clips as well. But I think that was fun to do. We'll have to loop back next year to see if we got the predictions right, I guess, in some cases, if Elden Ring actually came out this year or not. All right, well, we've gone pretty long, so let's wrap the show up. Again, if you want to help us out, hit us up at Bigwig Pod on Twitter or jump in the YouTube comments. Reach out to us. Make sure you give us a like, subscribe, tell some friends about the show.
Don't forget my OnlyFans account.
Your OnlyFans, Mike. And then probably the most important thing is to give
have
us a
we
5
checked there is not a no mic already?
If there is, it's fine. I'll let you check it out, Swinny. And then probably the most important thing to do is to give us a 5-star review of your podcast service of choice. But with that, bye-bye.
See ya.
Ciao.